Alright, so for my YouTube family, I'm going to be using the GoPro as well as my Zoom mic. It's a lapel mic, but I've got it with the little wind adapter on here, so I'm going to try to get some exhaust sounds of this AWE exhaust. It never comes through on video the way it should, but I'm going to do my best to get it as good as I can. So let's see how that works out. Alright, and you're going to see the edited version of this, which is nice, because who the hell wants to sit and watch the lengthiness of this? Alright, so I got my GoPro on my tow hook all rigged up. I've got my microphone. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. basically a bunch of revs from 1,000, which really isn't much, to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 to 6,000. All of them were approximate. I mean, some of them are 5,200, some of them are 4,200, some are 30, whatever, somewhere around there. It sounds phenomenal. I hope you got to hear the burbles. I'm going to record while I'm driving, in cabin with windows open, in cabin with windows closed, and I may even take the roof off because this is a convertible, and see what you can hear with that. It's, gotta tell you, it's pretty remarkable. It sounds so nice in cabin. Windows up, quiet. Windows down, a little more pungent, if you will, or whatever the word is for that. I don't even know. Pungent is a smell. Roof off, even more so. But when you're behind it, I mean, you can feel it. I don't know if you could tell, but you can feel it right now, rumbling in the car. I don't know if this could hear me better. You could feel it rumbling. I don't know if you could hear it. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to drive around a little bit. Let's see what we find. So we're in the car right now. I'm obviously idling. I want you to hear, first of all, when you start the car, you know what? I'm going to start the car up. So this is what nothing sounds like, except for the hum of the cooling of the engine. I'm going to fire it up. It's a warm start. Ignore the radar detector. It's mild. It's pretty quiet. That's with the air conditioner off. It's a little rumble. 5,000 RPMs. 6,000 RPMs. I'm going to put the windows down. Now there's nothing echoing behind me. There's nothing back there. $6,000 RPMs. 4,000. Actually, that's 5. This is 4. 4. I'm going to drive it around a little bit. I'm also going to want you to hear what V4 mode sounds like. So I'm going to keep it in touring so that it goes to that, which I personally can't stand. At low speeds, when V4 kicks in, it's this kind of a noise. When you're on the highway, though, it's really not bad at all. In fact, it's really not bothersome. So I got to tell you, they did a good job over at AWE. Let me get this in gear. Let's drive around a little bit. Now in touring mode, which means nothing as far as exhaust because I've got no valves. Windows are open. This is what 3,000 RPM sounds like. I'm going to show you, by the way, how to get some good burbles and pops and clicks between third and second gear. It's pretty awesome. This is what a full rev sounds like while we're driving. I'm telling you, in the cabin, it's not bad. But you feel it. Feels good. I'm going to do another drive or another pass right now. This time I'm going to do it with the windows up. No air conditioning, because the air conditioning it's not loud, but I don't want it to distort the sound at all. Windows up. There's V4. Now if I give it a little gas, it's annoying. But if you give it a little more gas, it switches out and goes back to 8-cylinder. But that so that's why I typically drive in Z mode. So let's hear it. This is I'll give it a little juice. This is in cabin. There's V4. Little juice. That's with the windows up. I'm telling you, it's really not offensive, but it just sounds rich. It's so good. Can you tell I like it? Yeah. So that's what it sounds like from the inside with the windows up. Yeah. I think we should do some with the roof up. Or roof down, I should say. Right now the roof is up. Thanks to Mods for Cars, I have the One Touch. Let me show you just how lovely that is. The One Touch. And my roof goes down. Look, Mom, no hands. I don't even have to think about it. In fact, I'm just looking around to see if there's any cars. All right, so I'm gonna pop it into Z mode. Not that it really makes a difference. It's just gonna change the shift points of the gears, so you can hear what this sounds like from inside the cabin with the roof open. Do you hear that? Magnifique. It is just so beautiful. This sound, these pops, the burbles, and the smacking when it's changing gears. I love it so much. And you hear it so good. Oh, it sounds so good. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to give it a little more juice. Roof open. I don't want to talk during it, but that's all pops and burbles. That's not a problem. All right, I'm going to try to hit a bridge and rev this sucker under a bridge. Oh, it sounds so good in the bridge. Or in a tunnel. Or in some kind of an enclosed space where it just reverberates and echoes. But I'm telling you, it sounds so good even without it. I'll get decibel readings later. I'm telling you, it's probably quieter than the stock in cabin when the V4 is off. When the V4 is on, the stock muffler did a better job of muffling that horribleness. I drive in Z mode, I don't have to deal with it. On the highway, it's not barely noticeable, to be honest. It's not a problem at all. It's just when you're on city streets, if it goes to V4, that it really doesn't sound exceptionally good. There's another Corvette over there. Look. Huh. It's so much fun when you see each other. I don't know why, but it is. So I'm going to rev it under the bridge. Let's hear what that sounds like from the interior of the cabin. I have the roof off, so hopefully you'll hear what that sounds like. It should sound pretty good. I don't know if the cars around me are going to get pissed, but you know who cares? Not this guy. Here's a rev, no bridge. 4,500. Let's get it under the bridge and see what that sounds like. This car is so much fun. I'm serious. I freaking love it. I love the way this sounds. I love the Z06. I think it's an amazing track monster. I have to tell you, I like the way the LT2 sounds better. I know a lot of you are going to say, you're an idiot. The flat plane crank sounds better. Yeah, it sounds really good for a foreign Ferrari-esque, Lamborghini-esque kind of car. But for an American muscle, for something that sounds freaking raw power, this is unbelievable. And I got to tell you, AWE, They nailed it. I'm going to give you a little review in a minute, but I mean, this thing sounds... Oh, here comes the bridge. I'm going to do another little rev or two. It's so much fun. You know, people ask me, because my wife actually drove it today, and she goes, "Can I rev it?" I told her, yeah. She thought it was actually cool, which is funny because she's not into cars. So I thought that was kind of neat. It's so choice. If you have the means to obtain one of these, I highly recommend it. If you know the movie reference, leave it in the comments below. So here is how you make the burbles. Hear that? I'm in second gear. Between 3,000 and 2,000 RPM. If you're in third gear, woo! If I'm in third gear, and you shift to second around, then you're going to get your burbles. Now it'll do that with the stock exhaust, but you hear it like a symphony with the AWE touring exhaust. And I'm sure you do with the track exhaust, but I have the touring exhaust. That's the burbles right there. All right, so here's my AWE with microphone review. I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I absolutely love this exhaust. That's number one. Number two, the installation was really rather easy, fairly straightforward, as long as you get that bumper off. I'm gonna shut this off. So you can hear me a little better. The installation was pretty straightforward. The bumper removal, watch my video on that. It's really not hard. This is definitely something you could do. The two-person portion of it is where you're going to need help if you're going to need someone to take the bumper off and to possibly lower the exhaust. The looks of the exhaust, it looks very nice. Is it as spectacular looking as the titanium exhausts that are available? No. Is it as spectacular in the welds as some of the other exhausts that I've seen? Not exactly. I'm not going to lie to you. Does it sound incredible? Yes. Does it feel incredible? Yes. And what I mean by that is this. One of the big differences that I noticed between the Z06 and the Z51 Stingray was when you turn the car on, you turn this car on, it sounds like you turn on a car. Zoom goes, right? You turn on a Z06 and it's like, whoa, there's like this massive something behind you. And that was what was lacking in the Z51. So since putting on the AWE touring exhaust, when I turn this car on, whoa, I mean, you feel the rumble of what's going on behind you, and it feels amazing. The sound of it, I mean, where I live, there's kids on bikes all the time like, rev it, you know, and before we knew the stock engine's like, vroom, vroom, and it was cool. Now it's like, whoa! It sounds just phenomenal, okay? One thing that I did have an issue with, well, actually two things that I had an issue with. Let's talk about the issues. Number one, when I'm putting on the tip, not the tips themselves, but the last tip adjustment piece, those are supposed to be torqued down to 26 foot-pounds of torque. In the directions, it said all the band clamps need to be torqued down to 60 pounds of torque. And, of course, one of the bolts snapped. However, their customer service is second to none. I got on the phone with two people, John and Mike. They were both amazing. They sent me out new ones, no questions asked, no problems whatsoever. And they are going to work on the directions to have it to say 26 foot-pounds on that one clamp, which is the rounded ball band clamp for where you can do the tilt, all the different adjustments to get the two tips. Other than that, it's been an easy installation, no problem at all. Now, they have a no check engine light guarantee, and I will tell you, they stand by that. Of course, because it's me, and because of the luck that I have, about 150 miles after installing it, I threw a check engine light. I threw two codes, which I was able to look at, which was the P12F8 and the P12F4. Both of those point to the AFM module and bank 2, which is, and I looked this up, the passenger side. So when I spoke to them about it, they said there could be two things. Could be a loose simulator, could be a problem on the insulation, which I know there wasn't because they did a very good job. I know, I was there. Turns out, of course, and without, again, a hesitation or a question, they mailed me 4 new simulators, and we were going to figure out if it was the AFMs, both of them, one of them, or the NPPs. Because with this exhaust, there are no AFMs, there are no NPP valves anymore. So you put the simulators on to tell the computer the valves are there and they're working and they're doing their job perfectly. Well, as it would turn out, the simulator for the AFM bank 2 on the passenger side was faulty. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not upset about it. They mailed me them. I literally was able to, without, thank goodness, having to take the bumper off while the exhaust was cool, car was off for a while, reach in there, and luckily I don't have the biggest forearms in the world, and contort myself and pull that sucker off, swap it out with a new one, plug it in, ran checks multiple times. I've now driven it about 150 miles, 0 check engine lights. So it was just a bad simulator. Shit happens. It is what it is. So that said, I have a fabulous setup. I absolutely love it. I love AWE's customer service, their ability to stand behind their product if there is an issue like I had, which again were minor. No question asked. Boom, boom, boom. Mailed it out. Got it within like 2 days. Like it was. They're freaking awesome. And they're super nice. And they send you lollipops, which I meant to be sucking on during this, but I'm leaning up a little bit, so I didn't want to have any more additional sugar. But they send you blow pops, and that's just fucking cool. Because everybody loves a blow pop. So my review of the AWE touring exhaust, and I will talk price. So I bought mine actually through Paragon. On their website with the black tips, which I have, which I think just, I don't like the chrome ones for my car. I like everything kind of blacked out. It's an extra 100 and something bucks. So in total, it comes out to about almost $3,000, okay? Free shipping from Paragon. I did on a 4th of July sale, saved a few $100. It was like $2,700. So if you want to wait for a sale, save a couple $100, great. I decided to get it because my birthday was coming up around July 4th, so I got it with the sale. So that worked out good for me. But even at $3,000 price point, there are other exhausts out there that are in the $4,000, $4,500 that I looked at that sound awesome as well. I'm not going to take away from any of those guys, but $2,700 to $3,000 is still a lot of money for an exhaust for any car. $4,500 up to $5,000, and to me is just unnecessary. If you really want your NPP and your AFM valves, this is not the exhaust for you. I personally think they are unnecessary. I do not like or need them. You can control the volume of your exhaust by how much throttle you give the gas pedal. It works. It's beautiful. It's a great thing. So I'm sorry this is a little long, a little redundant, but I want you to get a full, unbiased. I'm not sponsored by AWE. I get nothing from this, but they're awesome. The product is awesome. I'm thrilled with it. It looks awesome. People who look at my tips go, whoa, those tips are nice, because they're big. They're 4.5-inch black chrome tips. They look sweet. I mean, this car just looks, it just sounds, oh my God, you heard it. I don't know if it comes through on the video. It sounds badass, okay? It's freaking awesome. It's how this car should sound from factory. I understand there's EPA and noise regulations and other stuff to limit and do whatever they got to do to keep this thing kind of quiet. This is how this car should have sounded from factory. It's phenomenal. So a huge thumbs up from me on this. AWE knocked it out of the park. Touring exhaust. The track is missing the 180 technology, which reduces drone on the highway. The drone that you get, and I wouldn't even really call it drone, it's the AFM noise that comes about when you're going at lower speeds. At high speeds, it's fine. But at lower speeds, it's like, it's annoying. If you really are bothered by that and you really want the AFM valves, get a different exhaust. I think it's unnecessary. I think this exhaust is phenomenal. So I'm very pleased. Shout out to all the people that encouraged me to get it, because I asked around a bunch of people and everyone gave it great reviews. I've heard no one with bad reviews. And a lot of the other, just remember, a lot of the other exhaust companies that have the AFM and the MPP valves, they need to do a relearn. So you have to take it to a dealership or a person. They'll usually charge you anywhere between $100 to $250 to do a relearn. With this car, you don't. I happen to have a bad simulator, got that replaced. It took 5 minutes, and we're good to go. No relearns, no problems, no check engine lights. Beautiful thing. So that's it. Joe's C8 Garage. Love it. Drive it like you stole it. Enjoy it. Get an exhaust if you don't have one on your car. I'm pretty sure you're going to absolutely love it. People know I'm coming. My neighbors know I have it, but they're not like grossly offended by it. It's not so grossly annoying and loud that like it wakes everybody up, but it sounds fantastic. Anyways, Joe C8 Garage. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, tell everybody. That's it. Nothing else to say. See ya. Let's hear what a cold start sounds like. Like, share, subscribe.